Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Chairman, my name is Joshua Jadu. I was the former director of the Sugar Industry Research Institute of the Factory Technology Division. I took the time out, Mr. Golding, to review a presentation you made in 2010. And I'd just like to remind you about this document. And it was about the divestment of the sugarcane industry. I'd very much like to read something from the second phase that you said on that day. In the second phase, a study will be done to decide whether the additional 221 million, approximately 19 billion J, should be invested in the sugar industry that will process 200,000 tons of sugar per annum, and also an ethanol plant that the study will be completed in 2011. So ever since this, which I gave to you in your package, I've been expecting to see where they have invited you to cut the ribbon. And you mentioned ribbon in your speech. The ribbon to that 200,000 ton capacity factory. Sir, if you just go to the very last page of the letter-sized documents I presented for you, I would like to tell you that what happened since you divested the industry, 4 factories have bitten the dust. The first was Long Pond, followed by Monimus, then Golden Grove, and then the famous Appleton Sugar. Why? By the stroke of a pen by the Sugar Industry Authority in 2011, monies amounting to $18 million was transferred in the payment system that Professor Mills recommended in 1987-88. And that system worked for 20 years and then died with the sugar industry. And the S.I.R.I knows about it. I have written to Minister Shaw. I've written to Minister Charles. I got a response that they will meet with me, but nobody has. Who would like to hear the numbers? By the stroke of a pen. The amount of money transferred at Frome Sugar Factory between 2011 and 2017 was $5 million US. For Monimus was 2.88 million US, making a total of 7.928 million US dollar transferred from the factory to the growers. And that is why the sugar factories have died. I will say that Golden Grove, 2.2 million, Appleton, 3.6 million, Worthy Park, 3.6 million. And I must say, sir, that this is
My
indeed...
presentation ends up being longer than mine, you know.
No, I'm not going to. I'm finished right here. I'm finished. I just want to tell you that you...
No, can I say this very quickly? We could spend 2 hours, 3 hours,
Yes.
the whole night,
Yes.
doing a sort of pathological examination of the sugar industry.
Yes.
Let me just respond very briefly.
Yes.
Successive governments tried.
Yes.
The private sector tried.
Yes.
Foreign investors tried. And they all failed.
Yes.
Back in the 1960s, you know, we didn't allow shoes to be imported. We had to buy shoes that were made locally by Bata.
Absolutely.
And a couple of others, and they used to burn the hell out of your toe.
Yes.
We didn't allow motor car tires to be imported. They had to be made at the Goodyear plant in Morant Bay.
Yes.
And if you got 3,000 miles out of it, you were doing well.
Yes.
There are some things that we are not going to be able to produce efficiently. We can't compete with Brazil and Australia. Australia closed some factories. The capacity of each of those factories was greater than all of our factories combined.
Yes.
And they closed them because they were too small to be efficient.
But, sir,
So we have to find the things that we can do well, and most of those, as I suggested, as J.R. Sabon suggested, are going to be in services.
yes.
I'm not saying we must manufacture things, but we cannot continue to ask my helper and your helper to pay GCT in order for us to get some of that money to go subsidize the sugar industry, which is what they were doing. People still hold it against me because we divested Air Jamaica. We're losing $12 million a month on Air Jamaica. But Stewart couldn't make it run successfully. And what people were saying is that, fine, it's such a part of Jamaica, go and find the $12 million a month, US, to keep it going. That 12 would have been $50 million a month. No. At some point, you have to take some hard decisions and say, no, we can't do that. And that's the decision that successive governments have had to take regarding the sugar industry.
Well, sir, just to respond to that, it's not about the government's involvement. It's about a mistake that the regulator has made in the stroke of a pen that overpaid one sector more than they should have obtained.
Well, I can't speak to that because I don't have the information on that.